what's up, North County? I'm your host, Randy Doty, and today we are talking with Cody and Stacie about the StacieStrong golf tournament coming up this weekend, this Sunday at Hunter Ranch.
Yeah.
Thanks for coming in, guys.
Thanks for having
Randy.
us.
Thanks for having us back.
Yeah. So you guys are all ready for Sunday, right?
As ready as we can be. Yeah.
I mean, you guys are like
Final
3 days away.
Yeah.
Yep.
Feeling good, though. Feeling really good about it.
What a beautiful course, and just the landscape and, the awesomeness of being at Hunter Ranch.
Yes. Yeah. Absolutely.
How long have you guys been doing it at Hunter Ranch?
This will be our third event at Hunter Ranch. Our first annual event was at the Links, and then they shut down kind of shortly after we had that event. But that just kind of gave us a launching point to grow it into more. And Hunter Ranch is like the perfect venue for it. I was talking to a friend the other day, actually, like, we don't have to do we don't have to cater to Hunter Ranch's setup. It's like already perfectly laid out to how we kind of format our tournament and the after party. So,
well, you walk in, you got like this rustic, feel with all the wood, the decking, you got the bar, you got the pro shop. I mean, on the other side, you got that little midway area. Mm-hmm. It's just like almost like perfect for setup for like a fundraiser because you guys had the silent auctions going all the way down around, and then you had the midway area. You had, it's just such a great venue.
Yeah, who would have known, right? But I think God works in amazing ways, and that's what happened. So we love it. The Hunter Ranch team has been amazing the 3 years we've been doing it with them. So we couldn't thank them enough for just being so supportive. Our last minute needs or just how we just take over the whole place day of. I don't think they have many other customers or fundraiser type events like ours that do that. So it's a blessing. Yeah.
Do they they close down, so this is solely yours for the day. So nobody can just come in. If somebody wanted to play in your tournament, they could, right?
Sure. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. But yeah, we buy it out for the entire day.
Wow.
So it's the restaurant piece, the golf piece. Yeah. So it's pretty incredible.
So you still, we're a couple days away. You still have some spots for some foursomes, right?
Yeah. We have 5 teams left.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so, like we were talking about before, I feel like it's like today's the day that people start making their decisions for the weekends of whether or not they may or may not have been going out of town, been busy or anything like that.
Right.
Where now they can participate.
Exactly. Yep. So we're expecting maybe a couple more that we caught wind of. But yeah, still five teams left. So anyone hasn't registered and they're looking forward to something to do this weekend, come out and play.
Tell me about some of the sponsors that has made all this stuff happen for you guys, because I know you guys have some big sponsors that's been with you guys for quite some time, and obviously you can't do all what you guys are doing without the sponsors. Mm-hmm. So I want to give them a little shout out, but tell me about some of the sponsors that you guys have.
Yeah, definitely want to give them a little plug here. I think Turnkey Management, Property Management has been like one of our biggest supporters. Some close friends of ours, and they've just been with us on this journey since day one.
Because they have a little something that's kind of hit home too.
That's right.
Yeah, with their dad.
Yes, exactly. So, and that's where I think our community just really comes together, is when others just have shared experiences as we have. It's just more meaningful and more impactful, and I think that's just really what we're doing. What we're trying to support, the causes we're trying to support, along with Sabeswings, and how that can get spread, quickly, and for people to be aware of what goes on, kind of behind the scenes with cancer. It's not just the diagnosis; it's everything else that comes with it. That's even more stressful, I think, and more impactful to people's lives. I don't know. Do you want to talk about some of the other key sponsors that we have?
We have Your Tax Coach, which is another group of friends that we have. They're coming up from Southern California, so we're super thankful for them. We have Liam and Braze. They are a returning sponsor, which is also what we love to see. We love to obviously have the locals that return from year to year, and that's been a really neat aspect of this event is that we've been able to grow, and yet we still have our core community that continues to come and show up. And then we have a myriad of, as Cody mentioned, day of sponsored. So people that really just make the day happen by donating food and drink and just basically develop the whole experience of the day.
Yeah. Just to name a few of those, Cider Creek, they do like all of our breakfast burritos in the morning.
Nice.
They've been doing
Brad
it
and the crew over there have
4 years.
amazing burritos.
Yes.
Oh, they're incredible. They're such a big hit, and we're just so blessed to have them.
Zero brand meats we use for our barbecue.
Yep. There's the rodeo downtown. Danny Cardinelli and Taryn over there.
Yep.
They support the kegs for the event.
Brian's
Firestone
Bread.
Brewery. They support all the beer cans. Brian's Bread.
Stein's is doing
Stein's
mac
Barbecue,
and cheese.
mac and cheese.
Red Scooter
there's
Deli.
Red Scooter Deli.
We hit 'em all.
There's a lot. So
That's awesome.
they're all
Migrantes.
we list them all,
Yeah.
on our site and everything. And if people want to show them some support, check them out. They're all just been so wonderful, and many of them returning
Yes.
sponsors. So it's just amazing. People keep returning and showing up year after year, and it's a lot, economical things and costs of goods and things going up, and people just still show up and give back. So it's pretty amazing.
So Cody, let me ask you a question, because I know, this came on to you guys, came on, thought you were in the clear, and then came on again. Mm-hmm. And then once these alternative methods, obviously is expensive, which is why you do and what you've been doing. At any point where you I feel weird asking, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And how do you get past that threshold? How do you get past that part to where it's like, we need to ask for that help?
Yeah. I think it's a combination of things, but primarily just encouragement by our relationships and our community, just that continue to show up and go a little deeper with it. That's one thing just to ask, hey, can I do anything? But, just going deeper and going out of their way to just kind of take that extra mile and do something rather than just asking. And it just shows it just builds trust, and that's kind of the biggest thing for me is I can trust our community, and we want to instill trust in others that they can rely on us for, to give back in ways they could never imagine.
And it's got to humbilize you a little bit and kind of just, make you feel like, there is still good in humanity out there,
Yeah, I think that's what it is. And I think human nature is we want to work for our own, our own problems and solve our own problems and issues. But it's all about relationships and community. And no one can do it alone. And for just people to understand that and realize that. And again, I think it takes people that have gone through it as well to show up and tell you hey, this is going to take an army, take a tribe to get through. So.
Wow.
Yeah.
You guys definitely have built a tribe.
Yeah.
You guys got a tribe of friends of, help with this whole event that you guys are putting on. So,
yeah.
Like I said, that says a lot about you guys, and about the friends that you guys hold. So.
Yes, we're very thankful for that.
Yeah. So Stacie, has Cody talked enough?
I've done my part.
I'm trying to let him talk more.
I know. You're trying to give him the spotlight.
Yes.
So, okay. So
you've seen enough of me.
So Stacie, give me a short version of where we started to where we're at now.
Yes, in terms of the diagnosis.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, so I was originally diagnosed in 2020, so we're coming up on 5 years in October. Shortly after Cody and I got married, it was about 10 days after I got diagnosed with triple negative, which is one of the most aggressive forms of breast cancer. It makes up about 13% of diagnoses, so it's a pretty rare type. And we jumped into standard care within a week or two after that, and I went through about 1.5 years of standard care treatment, which included chemo, radiation, 2 clinical trials, along with immunotherapy. I did a double mastectomy, And then I did 6 months of oral chemo after that. And that bumped us to about January of 2022. So at that point, they deemed me cancer-free. Cody and I started living life again, getting back into a regular routine, kind of moving forward. It was like we were going to put that behind us. And within about a month or two, I started experiencing pretty severe chest pressure and pain. And so I went back to my doctor, and they pushed me aside and basically said, "You're fine." They were hyper-focused on my heart for whatever reason, even though I kept telling them it was breath-related. So lung related, but they didn't really want to look into what was going on. I think once it does return and come back, they don't have anything for you, so it doesn't really matter if they're able to diagnose you again. But ultimately, after about 5 months, I kept returning with additional issues, and they finally did an x-ray and saw masses in my lungs. And then ultimately that bumped us to about July of 2022 when they found 2 large tumors in my lung, and the original breast cancer had metastasized to my lung. At that point, I was deemed stage 4, which is a terminal diagnosis. And my oncologist basically said that she had given me everything that was available for triple negative. They had tried everything and nothing worked. And they were wanting to put me back on the high dose chemotherapy that didn't work initially. And that was the only option that she had for me, was to put me back on something that was proven to not be effective. So Cody and I, through lots of working through that news, and it took us a few weeks to get back on our feet, but ultimately we ended up stepping away from standard care entirely and looking at alternative options that gave us a little bit more hope. And we found a clinic in Southern California, which we've spoken to Dr. Von Schaefer on this show before. And she took me under her wing, and basically, her background is trauma surgery. So she's like, we got to do this now. She saw how large the tumors were. I was unable to basically walk on my own. I couldn't go upstairs from, this seat to your seat, Randy. I wouldn't have been able to really get, because I was not able to breathe. So it was pretty severe at that point. And she had me come as soon as possible. That was about August of 2022. And yes, but it was cash pay. So every single Friday we had a bill and we had to pay it. So it wasn't like, oh, just, put it on, send us a bill. No, we had to pay. And at the beginning, because it was so severe, it was ranging from about $10,000 to $15,000 a week that we had to come up with.
Wow.
So, and if we didn't pay, then I wouldn't come back the next week for treatment. And at that point, it was life or death for us. I was very severe. And
so how were you pulling that every week?
We were desperate, pulling out credit cards, pulling out friends and family came together. We ended up getting associated with Sabeswings, which helped us at the beginning as well. Took out every loan that we possibly could take. I mean, we were desperate. We had family come together, pull strings. They were putting stuff on credit card. I mean, it was a nightmare on top of me feeling like the end was near. I also knew every Friday there was a check that was due. And so the amount of stress and anxiety, and I was having severe panic attacks, and it was just a really, really rough time. And then once we got that under control, we were able to back off a little bit, but I was down there for 19 months. And even
every Friday.
I was there for 5 days every week, and every Friday the bill was due. Now, once we kind of got the treatments under control, you were looking at $3,000 to $5,000 a week. So that felt like a big win, but it was still mass amounts of money. Ultimately, it ended up being about $600,000 that we have had to come up with over the course of time. And so that's a lot. It's a lot for anyone.
Did
and
you
it's a lot
notice,
for us.
like when you started those treatments with her?
Yes.
Like comparing the treatments with her, comparing the treatments standard care.
Yes.
Did you notice a significant difference right away?
I did. I was able to start breathing again probably within about 4 to 6 weeks. She partners with a specialized radiologist oncologist that does very specialized treatments. So I actually coupled with him as well to do some targeted radiation, and then he also does the seed plantations, which is like their little rice kernel seed of radiations that he physically puts into your tumor. So between her treatment and the radiation treatment coupled together was like a perfect storm, and I had a lot of success with it. Unfortunately, because the lungs were so large, the tumors were large, it had spread in other areas. So we had to ultimately treat my brain, my liver, my spine, lungs, and bone. I was like, there's one more. So we ended up having to treat all those areas, and that's what took about the full 19 months to get ahead of it.
Yeah.
Gosh, I mean, you just kind of look at, care, medicine, doctors, and it's like, you have these options like you found Dr. V, and
Yep.
you're the oncologist that have these different methods that are working.
Right.
And it's like, why not? I mean, we've been doing it this way for so long. Is that working?
No.
No.
Yeah.
Why not? I mean, it's like if, it's what's the definition of insanity? Doing the same thing over and over and expecting a different result.
That's right.
Okay,
That's
so
right.
let's do something different.
Right.
Okay, let's give this other shot. Now we're in technology. We got AI. We got all these different, things of the world changing. It's like,
Right.
why stick with the old ways when there's so much success,
Right.
And I'm sure in cannabis is in there as well as a great alternative.
Right. Right.
That's obviously
Yes.
not.
That's not a
used.
standard care. And now I'm learning more because now I'm in more of a maintenance mode. So I've deep dove into what I can do at home. And so, the ivermectin, the fenbendazole, the methylene blue, all those repurposed drugs and off-label, they're very, very effective. And that's more of what I'm doing now that I am in a maintenance mode, but there's still continued care. I still go to clinic twice a week back in Portland, back where we live for maintenance treatment. But, the problem is chemotherapy is effective for about 3% of the population. So that's not a very good, and they don't tell you that. But it's a business, and that's how they make their money. So that's what they push. But there are a lot of alternative treatments that don't destroy your body and are way more effective. And unfortunately,
Cost effective too.
they're not covered under insurance, and it's not even considered as a viable treatment. We got a lot of pushback from the oncologist. She basically said, well, Stacie's just going to die if you go alternative. And she really kind of pushed on Cody as my husband, trying to fear mongrel. We were fear mongreled a lot with these choices, and it's just a really sad situation. So if anything, along with the fundraising and all of that, I think our purpose on this earth too is to just empower those that feel like they don't have any other options and give them that opportunity to see that there's hope and there are other options. And yes, the financial piece is very challenging. We understand that. So that's ultimately, once I get past this hump, what StacieStrong is going to be all about is giving back. And hopefully my heart is for alternative because I had to do alternative. So my heart is to come alongside other patients that don't have any other options and support them with alternative treatments.
Have you had anybody from the naysayers from the past that was, giving you the grief of making that change or switch that has seen the light or opened the door and said, hey, my God, I'm sorry. What are you doing?
No, not at all. I tried to go back to see my regular oncologist when I moved back home after the 19 months because I just needed general blood work. And I thought she would be happy to hear that I was still alive, and she actually refused to see me. She said that I was a liability because she didn't understand why I was still alive, and she didn't understand.
She didn't understand why you're still alive and you're a liability.
Yeah, I was a liability because she didn't understand what the treatments were, and if she couldn't basically take claim for those, she didn't want me to be a patient under her care. So, yeah.
Wow.
Right. So they don't want, I shouldn't say blanket statements because I'm in this community a lot, and I do know now I hear a lot of standard care that are interested in learning, so it's not a blanket statement, but in my personal situation, I haven't found standard care doctors that are interested.
Let me ask you this question. Was your standard care doctor, were they older? Were they an older generation?
Dr. P was probably in her 40s, is in her 40s. I'm assuming she's still, yeah, no, she was not old. Not at all. But very immersed in the standard care world, and they know what they know, and they believe what they believe, and I respect that, but I also think there's a really awesome opportunity to have a collaboration between standard care and alternative medicine. That increases the efficacy substantially, but most standard care, they don't even want to see that there can be a collaboration of both. So it's a really hard space to be in.
How do you feel like that? I mean, there's studies that show that AI, so a diagnosis between an AI product and an actual doctor, AI is more accurate.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure.
Seen some of those studies, yeah.
And it's amazing.
Yeah.
To where I think AI is like in the 90%, whereas a regular doctor is like in the 80s or maybe a little bit lower.
I have to say, I have a community of triple negative. We say sisters because we're all triple negative. And they have refused standard care completely. It's a group of 3 of us, and they use AI to basically take care of their needs, and they have managed their cases beautifully with the information they get online. AI asking all these different questions. They've chosen the treatments that they want. It's all repurposed drugs, and they're having phenomenal results.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
And so, Stacie, where are you at now with your journey?
So the journey still continues, which is why we're still moving forward to stay strong, which will continue even when the funds don't come back to us. But yeah, I am doing a lot of the repurposed drugs at this time, still at cost. There's still a cost that's associated with that. And then once I transitioned back to Oregon, because that is where we live now, Cody and I started going to a naturopath that basically does high-dose vitamin C and a few other modalities to keep everything at bay and to maintain a healthy body. I also work with a lab in Greece. We've talked about it before. It's called RGCC, and they do specialized treatments that are curated specifically for your body. So you actually get blood work done. It gets sent to Greece. They curate these treatments with your own blood, and then it gets put back in your body. And my doctor in Portland is now associated with them. So it's almost like a booster to the vaccine that I received last year. So I get one of those every 6 months. So there is continued care involved. And at this point, my body looks good. We do have a concern that's in my brain at this time, so we are keeping a close eye. We don't know exactly what that is. I actually have another scan the week after this event, so I wanted to kind of wait to get the event over with. So I'll be under continued maintenance and care for the foreseeable future, and I just manage it every day as best to my ability or our ability, and we continue to stay in a positive space. And
you got to.
You have to.
You got to keep that positive,
right.
vibe. I mean,
That's right.
And it's easy probably to cross over and just fall into the dark side.
Yes, I mean, we're coming up on 5 years of this, so I don't think people realize. Thankfully, I would hate to have anybody go through this. It's hard. This has been 5 years of our life, and that's a really long time. Most people are dealing with it for a year or 2 at the very longest.
Yeah.
So. Yeah,
Do you feel like it's like that 5 years? I think back what I was doing 5 years ago, and it seems like yesterday.
Yeah.
Does this 5 years seem quick, or has it seemed like a very long haul?
I'll let Cody answer that.
A little bit of both. It's weird when you look back and see how 5 years has gone by, and kind of everything we missed out on, but everything we've had to do at the same time. So I don't know. It's weird. It's this weird in between feeling of like we're still going through this, and that's what makes it seem like it's lasted for so long. But when I look back 5 years ago, I feel like it's, blink of an eye kind of feeling too. So I don't know. The concerns, the mysteries, we never get used to it. You don't become immune to it. And that's the challenging part. I think a lot of it's still just mystery, and a lot of questions about, where things are going to land, what her next results are going to look like. You just don't know. So we just have to keep a positive mindset, stay strong in our faith, and just
Stay Stacie strong.
That's
Stay
right.
Stacie Strong. Absolutely.
Stay on our carnivore diet.
And yeah,
Are you doing that too? You do it with
I
her?
partake. Yeah. It's.
What do you think?
It's great.
Yeah, we love it. Yeah.
Steak every
I know.
other
Yeah.
day,
Right?
pretty much. Yeah, I find it to be very easy in comparison to
Yes.
some other diets.
Having to prepare.
Yes.
I mean,
Simplicity is key.
and like that's what I love. I love simplicity. That's what I try and base our lives around, and especially with going through cancer, I think simplicity is like a very key thing to try and stand by. But yeah, I think it's convenient a lot of the times, and there's just a lot of data and science.
There
that
really.
backs-
I mean, do you cheat at all on it? Like.
Well, I'm not fully on it. I'll be the
But
first.
you, I mean, obviously you do it in support, and then I
Yeah.
mean,
Yes.
who doesn't want
Yeah.
a nice juicy ribeye,
Yeah.
for dinner?
Totally. Yeah.
And and the weird odd thing is about the carnivore is when you're thinking like your mind's breakfast, lunch, and dinner, right? I got to eat breakfast, lunch, and dinner when I wake up, noontime, at night.
Sure.
But a lot of times you're like, I'm just not hungry,
Yeah.
Yes, it
And-
satiates you way more than anything
does.
I've ever done. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like you feel like you need to eat because you're like, I should be eating right now.
Right.
I should be hungry right now, but I'm not. But
Yeah.
your body is it's slowly processing it. Whereas like on your carbohydrates and everything just goes right through you. Whereas like on the meats, your it processes it
Yeah.
much slower and
Right.
uses it as energy. I mean, I don't know how you feel by being 100% on it,
Yes.
but I felt the energy was amazing.
Right.
My
Brain
like some
clarity,
joints, clarity, everything.
Everything. It's substantial. Yes. And the gals I was telling you about earlier, we're all carnivore. And so it's been really encouraging to see their journey. They've been on it for well over a year. I started January 15th. So to see their results now after being on it for over a year, and they're still doing so well with it. So it's been really encouraging.
Do you cook in tallow?
Yes. Oh yeah. And lots of butter. I
butter,
do a lot of high
tallow.
fat for the, satiation piece of it. So lots of butter.
What does Dr. V think about this diet?
She likes a few veggies thrown in there, but she stands behind. At this point in my journey, all my doctors are pretty trustworthy of what I
They're
do.
like, Stacie, whatever you do
They
is
do.
working. So
I pretty much order my own scans. I tell them what blood work I need. I pretty much manage my own case, which is a ton of work, but it's neat to have that relationship. We can bounce ideas off each other, but she trusts what I do, and she knows that I've got it in the bag. So
that's awesome. Now and now you guys are a part of Sabeswings, which is a national organization.
Yeah.
Financial toxicity. We had Brett and Candace on last year.
Yeah.
About this. So now you guys are officially under their umbrella as a nonprofit.
Yeah, one of their Stacie Strong is now one of their programs officially. So it's great to be connected with them and in their network. And they're just incredible people, incredible team. Their board members are incredible, and just the passion that's there motivates us, to keep doing and to give back. So.
And then Candace went through the same thing as
yes,
Stacie.
That's the crazy part about it. Their diagnosis was
Alliance.
very similar.
Yes,
so.
yes. And she actually had the dendritic cellular vaccine as well. So I received that last year. She's been a few years out yet, and she had great success with it. So it's been really encouraging for me to see, because there's not a lot of people with returning triple negative that have success. So I cling to those stories of hope, and she's one of those stories.
Now, is that diagnosis, is that like a hereditary thing?
No one in my family has ever had triple negative. And cancer, actually, they're proving is actually not hereditary. It's environmental. So it doesn't. There are some cases that's like one of my good friends, Jordy, who we dedicate the event to every year. Every single female in her family had triple negative, so there are smaller cases, but overall they're coming out with more data that shows that it's really environmentally based. So the water we drink, the food we eat, the air we breathe, all of that comes into play, all the toxins. Our body they are not created to be able to handle it, and some bodies can, and Most of our bodies can't. So that's where my treatment now that I manage from home is a lot of the detox. So I sauna 3 times a week. I red light every single day. I do a detox bath every single night, so it's all the detox related stuff, because there's more and more studies that are coming out that that's the reason, and the parasite stuff as well, which is where the ivermectin and the femben comes into play.
Do you do the peroxide?
Yep.
Do you really?
Yes, I have a nebulizer, so peroxide in water, deep inhale that helps oxidize your blood. And yeah, I also do,
Golly.
I do a lot. It's a full-time job.
Well, I mean, you're like a professional athlete.
Yeah, right.
I mean,
It's true.
everything that you just mentioned, the food, the saunas,
Yes.
the baths, the
Work out at least 4 times a week, if not more. Walk every day. Start my day with a walk every single day. Yeah, and it's a lifestyle. For me, so I would much rather be home with my husband and my dogs than have to go back into active treatment in Southern California. So I will do whatever it takes, even if it takes hours out of my day, to stay home and be healthy.
And now do you stay away from alcohol?
Yes.
So
Yes.
completely none. Coffee?
I do coffee. I do have, so I use a test with RGCC, which is a really cool test, and why Standard Care doesn't do it, I don't know. They take your blood, they put it in a ton of different little Petri dishes, and they test it against all kinds of different modalities to see what kills cancer cells. So then you get a 32-page report that says exactly what your body needs and wants to kill cancer cells, and there's an active ingredient in coffee that actually really does well in my body. So I do have coffee.
Holy cow.
I know, and it's such a cool test. I mean, it's pages and pages, like melatonin, huge, kills cancer cells in my body like no other. My girlfriend, she has the same test, my 2 other girlfriends, and they're all totally different, and we're all triple negative.
Will you email me that information?
Yeah, I would love to.
That would be awesome. That would be awesome to share.
Every single person that has a diagnosis, I would absolutely encourage doing this test, because it will tell you the chemo that you're receiving if it's effective. It'll tell you the vitamins that you're taking if they're effective, the supplements, all of it. I mean, and you can add as many as you want. If you take 100 different supplements, you can literally add it to the test, and they'll test it against your own bloodstream.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
It's amazing.
Awesome, guys. Well, so we got StacieStrong this Sunday. Okay, you still have a room for a couple more golfers.
Yep.
Right.
And after party.
The after
Plenty of room
party.
for the after party.
Come out to the after
So,
party.
yeah.
Yeah.
Where can they go for more information?
That's going to be at StacieStrong.org, and Stacie is STACIE, strong.org. And yes, a little plug on our silent auction. We have over 120 items, and I went to the gal that's managing our silent auction, her home last night, and it looks like silent auction just exploded in her entire house. So there are amazing items coming in. It's gonna be really great. So come to the after party.
Super cool. And what's the time again?
After party starts at 1:30 to 4, and then shotgun start is at 8:30 in the morning for golf.
Yep.
And then do you have to participate to come to the silent auction?
Nope, come and bring your kids. We have a bounce house, we have ice cream, we have all kinds of things for the kiddos. We're gonna have cornhole out there, little family fun center area. So
Cool.
we want everyone to be able to come, and even the silent auction has some kiddo stuff too.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, thanks again for coming in. We love, sharing your journey with our viewers. Success with your journey is awesome. I can't wait to hear, more what happens going forward. I still want to talk to Dr. V again, get her, on the show and chat. Because like I said, it's amazing. And people need to hear stuff like this, that there are other options and alternatives to when somebody says no,
Yes.
that's it. So
Yeah.
I appreciate you coming on and sharing your guys' journey and your lives with us and with us, our viewers on What's Up North County.
Thank
Thanks,
you for
Randy.
having
Thanks
us,
for your
Randy.
support.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to
Appreciate
Sunday.
it. Yeah.
Yeah,
we are
Looking
too.
forward to Sunday.
Yeah.
Yeah. See
Awesome,
everyone
guys.
there.
Thanks again. Well, there you have it, guys. If you guys don't have anything going on, come on out to Hunter Ranch on Sunday. Guys, it's a lot of fun. It benefits a great person and a great event, and it's a much bigger cause, Everybody's been touched by it. So be Stacie Strong. Come on out, have a fun, bid on some auctions, eat some food, hit some golf balls, and hey, see what happens, see where it goes. But as always, guys, we can't do this without you and our sponsors. We'd like to thank Escalar Wine Travelers Hideaway, Visit Atascadero, 805 Customs, MGP Coating, North County Junk Removal, The Trailer Barn, Story Termite Pest Control, Borhone Auto Center, Kennedy Club Fitness, Airflow Filter Services, and Premier Ag. Thanks again, guys. We'll see you next time.
Hi, this is Dave Story, small game hunter with Story Termite and Pest. We're a full-service termite and pest control company. From rodents to termites, we can take care of all your pest control needs. Call today. We can tailor a pest control program that will meet your needs and budget. Contact us at 805-460-0650 or at storytermite.com. Remember, we don't have customers, we have friends.
Are you tired of looking at that worn-out concrete garage floor, patio, or porch? Look no further than MGP Coatings, where customer service reigns supreme. Our team goes above and beyond to ensure your satisfaction every step of the way. Before we even start coating, we meticulously repair your concrete, ensuring a flawless finish that lasts. And here's the best part. Our Pentec coatings are 4 times stronger than epoxy, so they won't chip or peel, making maintenance a breeze. Plus, they come with a limited lifetime warranty. Call us today at 805-952-5301 or check out our Facebook and Instagram and experience the MGP coating difference. Don't wait. Transform your garage, patio, porch, or driveway and become a part of the MGP coating family.
What's up, North County? This is Teresa Branch with Airflow Filter Service. We are a family-owned business right here in the North County. We have air filters, oils and lubricants, and hydraulic hoses. We provide services that include air filter cleaning, DPF cleaning, and waste oil collection. Come check us out at 1140 Ramada Drive, and we can help you with all your automotive and industrial vehicle needs.
Hi, this is Omid
and Deanna
at North County Junk Removal. We are a business known for helping our neighbors and our community.
Let us help you save money and get rid of any unwanted items.
And rest assured that our professional team adheres to global standards of safety and recycling. We are fully licensed and insured for your peace of mind.
We are locally owned and operated, and we look forward to helping you with all your junk removal needs.
Please call us at 805-769-6966.
Atascadero isn't your standard getaway. We're unique, just like you. We're growing, transforming, and figuring it out as we go. We're a town filled with innovators, artists, makers, and game changers. We're a little bit country, a little bit funky, and always authentic. We're here for your good times, your slow times, and your changing times. We're all in Atascadero. Come see for yourself. Learn more at visitatascadero.com.